Yo, what's up guys? Today's an exciting day. I wasn't going to film at first, but then something showed up in the mail, so now I kind of have to. And before I go ahead and unbox this thing, let me tell you guys, this is one of the parts that I've been the most excited about for this entire build. I've had one of these before in my car, and honestly, it's probably my favorite mod ever. Now this completely changes the feel of your car, it changes the way you drive. It's a huge improvement over stock. And even compared to the short shifters out there, this is so much better. But this is one of those things that you won't know until you try it, so unless you've got it, you don't know. So without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this thing. One of the first things you'll notice about this is the tape they put on. It's got their logo here and then race the original. And right below, hashtag no fake shifters. That's how you know it's serious. Okay, so right away, you've got some pretty cool stickers and stuff. Next, we've got a shift knob that I ordered, but I don't know which one I'm gonna use yet, so I'll show you this later. And then buried in here is the actual shifter itself. And then down below, the linkage. Finally, some hardware. And I think that's it. So let's get to the interesting part right away, the shifter itself. Man, this thing is beautiful. Wow, you can see the quality of the welds. Then the billet, aluminum. Damn, this thing looks so good. And then this is the linkage that goes to your transmission. So it goes somewhat like this. Then you hook it up here. And then the little hardware kit to be able to mount the shifter in your car and plug the boot and things like that. So finally, I ordered a second shift knob. I really like this blue one, but I wanted to try this Alcantara with the red stitching. I don't know which one I'm gonna use yet, but this feels quite good. Actually, it's pretty soft and the weight is quite comfortable as well. And I think it would look pretty good. So there we have it, the CAE Ultra Shifter for the STI with an extra shift knob. So now let's go ahead and put it in the car. The first step is obviously to remove your factory shifter. In my case, it's just 4 screws up here and then the rest of the linkage down below the car. So let's go ahead and pop this off. Now under the car, it's quite simple. We need to undo the cable for the reverse gear, then 2 bolts for this bracket, and finally 2 bolts for this bushing up there. After that, we'll get access to the actual linkage up there, but for now, let's not worry about it. So I got all of my bolts out. This thing is pretty much free to go now. But there's one more thing way up there by the linkage. There's a pin securing the linkage to the transmission. And that thing can be a bit of a bitch because it's actually 2 pins, one into the other one. So you have to remove the first one, then the other one. And it would be hard enough to do one of them, so having 2 is definitely not an advantage. But there's always a way, so let's get it. I finally got my pins out. This is what I meant. One goes into the other one, and then both into the hole. So now I've got my linkage that's pretty much free to go. Let's see if I can pull it out. Almost. There we go. So now everything is free down here. I can go inside the car and pull everything out through the inside of the car. What's pretty cool about the new shifter is that you're replacing this entire assembly that has several linkages and bushings with just a simple shifter and a linkage. That's it. That also explains why the shifter feels so direct and has such a short throw. The first thing I need to do now is to salvage and modify this boot so it can accept the new linkage. I'm done modifying the boot. It's quite simple. All you do is put the two plugs, zip ties around them, and then you drill these 4 holes to 12 millimeters. And I tried with a drill, but that didn't work out too well because this is rubber. So what I did is I just took my pliers and started cutting away some of the rubber, and that turned out a lot better. I've reinstalled the boot and the linkage. So now let's go ahead and put the shifter itself back on. And now the screws. There is one 13mm bolt at the end of the linkage. And then there's this thing which holds the reverse lock open. It goes on just like that. Now everything down here is done. It's so much simpler than OEM. So we can go back in the car and finish up the shifter. Now I can put my 4 bolts back in, and CAE actually provides you with the right hardware, but since the GC8 has different diameter holes, for now I have to use these. But later on I'll be redoing these holes in the right size so I can actually use the proper hardware. The last bolt is this thing which secures the linkage to the lever. So let's go ahead and put it in. And there it is. The only thing left to do, I guess, is a test drive. I'm gonna try and film this as best as I can, but remember, I've got no foot brake, only my handbrake works, and this is a manual, so yeah, it's gonna be tricky holding the camera. But here we go. So first is left and up, and then the shifter comes back to center. So if you look, this would be first, this is center. Now if I go in second, I'll push left and then pull towards me. That's second, just like an H pattern. But now if I go in third, since my shifter is already in the center, all I do is push forward, and then fourth, fifth, sixth, and then reverse all the way to the right. The real benefit of this is especially when you're pulling out of a corner in second, that's where you would be, so second, but the shifter is already back in the neutral or the center position. So all you have to do to go in third and fourth is up, down, boom, that's it. Makes you save a lot of shift time out of the corners, especially the gears 2, 3, and 4, but it's the same if you're downshifting from, let's say, 5th up there, and you're going back to 4th, all you do is push towards you, and then 3rd is up, then 2nd you have to go left again. But yeah, if you're in 2nd, then you can go back to 3rd, 4th, like everything is much simpler with this. As I said, I'm going to try and film this the best I can, but it's going to be pretty tricky. So here we go. All right, first. Let's make a corner. All right, let's try a second. third, I just go up. And if I was to go fourth, back down. But now a second. Okay, now I'm in second, I'm making a turn, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like at high speed. So here we go. Let's do it one more time. So let's say I'm going out of a corner. All I do is third, push forward. Fourth, pull back. That's it. Now let's go back in third. I actually got a sunroof open, so yeah guys, as I said, it's pretty sketchy just with the handbrake, so I'm not going to do big pulls here, but what I can do is turn around and do one more of those quick shifts from second, third to fourth. That's actually where you gain the most with this shifter, so it'll be the most, I guess the most, so it'll be the most obvious to see. But yeah, the shifter feels awesome. I didn't even have to tune it so far. I've got my Allen key on the passenger seat. You can actually change how far the shifter goes left and right to get the perfect engagement into your gearbox. But straight out of the box, you really don't have to do anything. I guess it's fine tuning, and if you really have a weird gearbox or something. All right, let's do this one more time. So I'm in second right now. This time I'll stay on the shifter so you can really see it. So second, third, fourth, back to third. And now if I go back to second, I have to pull it towards me to the left side. And there you have it, guys. I hope that through this video I was able to show how awesome of a shifter this is. And honestly, the installation isn't that bad. On a scale from 0 to 10, I would rank it around 5. Not because it's somewhat difficult, but because there isn't a lot of room to work with down under the car. So depending on if you have a lift or not, it might get more difficult. And also if you don't have long enough tools. But all in all, the process is really easy. You just have to take the time to do it, and it'll turn out just perfect. Now personally, I really love this shifter. To me, it's one of the best mods you can do to your car. And honestly, I would not own another Subaru without this shifter. That's how good it is. And for the track guys out there, I used to own a 2004 STI with over 500 horsepower and this shifter on there. So if you think that this cannot take the abuse that a normal shifter would on the track, you're definitely mistaken. I used to race autocross with it, and honestly, this thing saves you a lot of time out of the corners going from second, third to fourth, and it does just as well on the streets as it did on the track. So really, there is no excuse not to have one. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick install video. I definitely did. Again, this is one of my favorite mods ever, and I think it looks just amazing. So any day I'll get to install one of those is a good day in my book. But yeah, that's it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Come on.